As most people know, Marvel sold the rights to some of their biggest characters and was forced to build a universe without them. DC, on the other hand, has always had the rights to all of their biggest characters, but what if they didn't? In this video, I will go over a version of the DCU based on the structure of the MCU where DC sold the rights to their characters. However, it won't be exactly the same. The Marvel Universe is split into about 5 different sides, each of which more or less exist on their own. With DC, the universe is very focused on the Justice League. Their most popular characters are all members of the team, and almost all their teams are connected to them. So we're going to have to find a way to work around this. At the time, the original big 3 Marvel heroes were Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Hulk. From a franchise perspective, I think Batman fits best for Spider-Man, and Superman fits for the Hulk. However, Wolverine is a strange case since he is part of a different team, the X-Men. Besides the Justice League, the team Wonder Woman is most prominently associated with is the Justice Society, which I do think fits as a counterpart to the X-Men. So as a counterpart to the X-Men, Fox would not only own the rights to the Justice Society, but also Wonder Woman, Shazam, and any of their related characters. Plus, they own the rights to Doom Patrol as a counterpart to the Fantastic Four. And they share the rights to Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Beast Boy with DC. DC would also sell the rights to Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Peacemaker, Constantine, and Etrigan the Demon. However, the rights would revert to DC fairly early on. This leaves DC with The Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman as their new big 3, and without their biggest characters, a few of the rights for these would be complicated. The DCU would begin in 2008 with the counterpart to Iron Man, Green Lantern, starring Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, since he's actually like the exact same age as Robert Downey Jr., which I think is perfect. And also, the 2011 Green Lantern movie was originally meant to be the start of the DCEU before it failed. This movie, on the other hand, would succeed in starting a cinematic universe. The movie follows Hal's origin story as he gains his Green Lantern ring and is recruited into the Green Lantern Corps. On Oa, Hal is trained by Sinestro, a Green Lantern who becomes disillusioned with the Guardians of the Universe and goes rogue, creating a new ring using the yellow light of fear. The movie ends with Hal defeating Sinestro. The supporting characters include Carol Ferris and Hal's best friend Jon Stewart, played by Jamie Foxx. The movie ends with Hal revealing his identity to the world, and a post-credit scene shows him being recruited by King Faraday. Almost immediately after, DC and Universal would come to an agreement and release Man of Steel. This movie continues off of the previous Superman movie, which released in 2003, and starred Brandon Routh. However, that movie isn't canon. This is mostly a reboot starring Henry Cavill. In the movie, Superman is hunted by Lois Lane's father, General Sam Lane, who goes to Lex Luthor and gets him to create a clone of Superman, Bizarro. The final fight is between Superman and Bizarro. Bizarro is defeated and imprisoned. Lex Luthor is set up to return, but that won't be paid off until much later. Hal Jordan cameos in a post-credit scene. Superman isn't a perfect counterpart to the Hulk, as he's a much more important character to the Justice League and the universe as a whole, so while he won't be getting any more movies of his own, he will be getting a lot more focus in the Justice League movies than the Hulk did in the Avengers movie. Green Lantern 2 releases in 2010 and begins with a flashback showing the Guardians of the Universe's original police force, the Manhunters, wiping out all life in Sector 666 except for one survivor, Atrocitus. Atrocitus then becomes a Red Lantern and seeks revenge on the Guardians, leading to him attacking the Green Lantern Corps in present day. Hal fights Atrocitus and seemingly defeats him. However, Atrocitus survives and is found by Larfleeze, who agrees to team up with him. Meanwhile on Earth, King Faraday and Checkmate attempt to recruit Hal and send Black Canary to spy on him. Hal ends up losing his ring, which goes to John. Ultimately, Hal gains a new ring and teams up with John to take on and defeat Atrocitus. The post-credit scene shows Aquaman's trident. This would be a good time to mention that in the MCU, the Hulk and War Machine were recast. However, that had to do with the specific actors playing them, so Superman and Jon Stewart's actors will remain the same for this entire universe. Aquaman would be essentially the same as the actual movie, except with one major change. Black Manta does not appear in this movie. He will actually be saved for the final movie of the trilogy. Replacing the fight with Black Manta, Aquaman is captured by Checkmate, where Green Arrow has a cameo. The post-credit scene shows Checkmate monitoring Starro the Conqueror as it approaches Earth. The final movie before the Justice League would be The Flash, the Fastest Man Alive, which is mostly just a condensed version of the Flash show, the first season. Barry Allen is struck by lightning, he becomes the Flash, he faces off against the Rogues, and ultimately the Reverse Flash. The post-credits scene shows the Flash being recruited into the Justice League. Chapter 1 concludes with Justice League. As Starro approaches Earth, it begins sending its smaller Starros to control people. One of them attaches itself to Green Arrow and takes control of him. In response to this, King Faraday sends Rick Flag, Sasha Bordeaux, and Black Canary to recruit Green Lantern, Flash, and Superman. Aquaman joins in when Starro also starts affecting Atlantis. Starro also takes control of Superman, forcing them to fight him as well. After Superman and Green Arrow are freed from Starro's control, Starro arrives on Earth. The heroes all team up against it, ending with Hal sacrificing himself in Starro's eye, although he survives. The post-credit scene reveals Starro was sent to Earth by Darkseid.